What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Surviving in Alabama. Today we're going to be planting some grapes, but before we plant the grapes we have to make a trellis for them. So originally I was going to make a trellis like 2 poles, one on either side. Looks kind of like a clothesline. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to make a trellis out of a cattle panel so you can walk under it and pick grapes. We got 4 grape plants to plant, so let's get busy on the trellis. This is the materials that I'm using. We got 1 cattle panel. We got 2 T-posts. We got 2 cut 4x4s. Now these are cut to the width of the cattle panel, and I drilled holes in them. Also, you're going to need some fence staples, some zip ties, and what I'm using is 4 pieces of rebar. Okay, well, this is what we got to do first. See, I cut this cattle panel is 50 inches wide, so I cut these 4x4s to 50 inches, and I drilled holes right there and right there. So I want the holes to go with the cattle panel. So against the cattle panel, I'm gonna put some staples. We're gonna staple it to the wood. So I'm gonna use these fence staples just like so. Okay, now that I got one side stapled all the way down, now I'm gonna flip it over and we're gonna do the other side. Okay, you gotta make sure that these are on the same side of the cattle panel. If you put them opposite, this is not gonna work right, or at least it won't look right. So anyway, I'm gonna put staples all the way down, just like so. And when I get through with that, then we're going to set a T-post and we're going to raise this trellis. Okay, now we have to select a spot. So we obviously don't want to put it in the middle of my yard, and we want to put it where it can get some sun. And in my yard, I have a section of my yard where it's really too wet. So now we have to set the first post, because if you don't set the first post before you try to hook the cattle panel, you're not going to be able to have anything to push against, and you're not going to enjoy that at all, because they're flimsy, they're heavy, and they're really tight to push on. So set the first post after we put the 4x4s on. Okay, now, so we have the 4x4s to the outside. And see, this 4x4 is going to be pushing against this post. So we want to get it up to it, just like so. It don't have to be perfect. Then, I've got 2 pieces of rebar and a hammer. So then, I'm going to pull it up. And see, I needed that post to push against. So I'm gonna lay those down, and then I'm gonna start easing up on it until I get the desired height. And so if I didn't have the 4x4s down there to give me some weight, this would be so hard for one person to do. It would just probably take 2 people. Even though one person could probably do it, it'd just be difficult. So once we get the desired height, like so, then you want to try to square it up. So I can walk under here. So that's probably good. And that's all personal preference. So now that I have the desired height, so I got it started with the claw hammer, and I had to go get a sledgehammer because I cut the hole too tight. So it's going in there. We're gonna make it go in there now. Now I can square it up that I got one side set.
Oh, I missed it.
As you can see, I've got my child working. And she's trying to hit the rebar.
It's not as easy as it looks. Oh, I bent it.
You bent it.
Sorry.
Okay.
This is not working. Oh.
Okay. Before you get it all nailed down, it'd be a good time to make sure the ground is good and level and it is going to be set where you want it. And so I got a little bit of a hump here. I'm going to take a shovel and I'm just going to shovel that off. All right, now we got this set, this side a little more level. I'm going to start them. We'll put these in the hole and get that started. Now I'm going to put the sledgehammer to them. Before you nail them down though, you need to get them where you want them. Now I want to make sure before I get this last one. I think it looks good. Let's nail it. Okay, now that I got it staked down on that side, it's staked down on this side, we're going to put the second T-post in for stability. So you want to put it right up against the board, in the middle, drive down. Okay, now we have set a T-post. We have stapled our 4x4s to the cattle panel. We've hooped the cattle panel. We've set the second T-post. Now it's time for the last step. Zip ties. And these are the big zip ties too. They are the homesteader's friend. So we will use these and just zip tie the cattle panel to the T-post, and that'll give it some strength. Put one in the middle too here. Okay, now that we got our zip ties on, they're tight. To get rid of the excess, I'm just going to take some wire cutters and snip them off. And there you have it. It's stable. It's not going anywhere. It'll be here a very long time. So thanks for joining me today. We built a trellis. I had planned on planting some grapes on this video, but we'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow, stay tuned, for we're going to put grapes on each four corners of this trellis. Now, as you can see, we don't have a whole lot of money invested in this. So anyone can do this. You can do it. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. God bless.